Hello everyone and welcome back to Danganronpa 2. We're still working on the class trial. I think we've solved how the building is shaped.
That took like 5 episodes.
That was a long time. And then we also established the ultimate weapon, which took about 15 minutes.
Rumbling?
Now we're talking about rumbling.
Yeah, let's see what's going on.
I thought it was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was that the sound from when Nekomaru fell?
Duh.
Well, a huge
Even
body
I
fell
knew
from
it
the
was something
4th floor to
ridiculous.
the 1st, and the pillar fell with it. It's obvious we'd hear the impact sound.
That's
We
true.
heard that noise too.
It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge. What is it, Sonia?
Oh, well, that sound everyone heard? I did not hear it at all.
Huh?
You probably didn't hear it because you were sleeping.
I could not sleep at all. I was awake the whole night with hunger pangs.
What?
There's nothing to
Interesting.
worry about. What's important is that rumbling noise anyway.
If we use that rumbling sound as a reference, we might be able to figure out how much our time was off.
Wasn't she in one of the more soundproof rooms?
Oh, maybe.
And then, because Nagito didn't hear the alarm going off,
Right.
remember?
I heard that sound probably around 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it makes sense that everyone else would hear it.
Huh?
Yeah.
You can tell? I instantly woke up and left my room. And that's when I saw the clock in the lounge. Excellent work, Akane!
If that rumbling sound we heard was at 5:30 a.m., it's like the answer to how much our time was off is literally right in front of me, so we decided 2 hours.
I see!
I see.
I got it!
Got it.
Nekomaru's alarm went off at 7:30, and if we heard the sound of his impact at 5:30, that means our time was off by 2 hours.
2 hours? That much?
We were starving pretty badly. There's no way we would have noticed.
Plus, the funhouse has no windows. And there weren't any Monokuma announcements either.
However, for what reason did the killer alter our perception of time?
And no one was sitting there on like clock duty.
Right. Well, this is the part that I can't figure out is like what did that
Accomplish.
matter? Unless they were trying to throw off like what time. Or no, maybe they were trying to establish an alibi for themselves, so that way it's like, oh look, he was destroyed at
Yeah.
7:30. At 7:30,
Or-
I was here.
Or they were doing it because they knew everybody was asleep, so they wouldn't get caught with everybody up going to go see the Monokuma Taichi.
Could be.
The reason is obvious, so they could lure out just Nekomaru.
Lure out only Nekomaru.
If you messed with the clocks and used a specific thing, you definitely get
Oh.
Nekomaru to the tower alone, right? From there, the killer's plan was a splendid success.
Oh, because his clock
That's all
is
it
correct in
means.
his chest.
Yep. Besides messing with the time, the killer also used a specific thing. If they were trying to lure out only Nekomaru, then that specific thing was
The clock
massage time.
The clock's alarm.
I'm between that or the Monokuma Tai
I know.
Chi. No.
No, it's Monokuma Taichi.
Damn it!
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. That's exactly what
Okay,
it is.
so no.
Romantic jog for 2.
The Monokuma Tai Chi actually doesn't seem right, but I can't think of it's definitely not massage time.
Well,
I see!
there.
Okay, yeah, because he knew that he would show up at 7:30.
That's it.
That makes
the
sense.
killer made use of the Monokuma Tai Chi activity in the morning.
How did they use it?
We were required to go to Great Tower every morning at 7 a.m. for that activity, right? But if they mess with all the clocks inside the building, what would that do to us? We wouldn't be able to attend on time, but that wouldn't affect Nekomaru. His radio clock had the exact time.
But wouldn't everyone else get in trouble for not being there on time?
That's right.
Right.
In doing so, the killer was able to lure him to the tower by himself at the precise time.
So weren't we
When
2
I witnessed
hours?
Nekomaru early in the morning,
We were 2 hours late.
Right, yeah, we were 2 hours late
So
to
how come Monokuma didn't like
kill us all.
end us all?
I wonder if he just didn't. I wonder if because he got a murder, he didn't care at that point. Like he knew he was gonna get someone was gonna die out of the deal, so he's like, cool. At 5 o'clock, it was actually 7 o'clock.
If
He's
I
going to Tai
recall,
Chi.
you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m.
Yep. Okay.
And if that time was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m. Yeah, that's pretty much it. At that time, he was heading over to Monokuma Tai Chi, Right on schedule.
I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he said those words.
Too early. He didn't even ask you yet.
Yep.
Yeah, but it turned out like this, so that's why he didn't care.
Yep.
When you said everyone, you were including us, right?
Yep. Not just the
We
people
thought
from
we came to
Strawberry
the
House.
tower on time, but in truth, it was way past the meeting time.
Ah, jeez. That's, well, how should I put it? What was it? You know, tripping over a foot or something like that.
Are you talking about tripping over someone else's fault?
Wrong! Too bad.
Liar! I'm right!
That's not it. It's incorrect.
That's definitely the correct answer. You always get so stubborn like this.
Let's just
Them
ignore the
arguing is
peanut
hysterical.
gallery. Now that we've found out how the killer lured Nekomaru, the number of suspects has drastically decreased.
Oh, it would have to be Strawberry House.
Yeah.
Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar.
Kazuichi seems to have an issue with
You'll
this
know
already.
I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next.
Huh? What the hell do you mean?
You witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that?
Are you talking about that alarm?
Alarm?
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
I remember now. The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room. But there was one guy who never left the lounge. We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room.
Which means that person does not have an alibi for when Nekomaru fell?
Who is it? Who's the bastard?
Gunman.
It's whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time, right? Nope. I was aware that the all right, maybe it's Nagito. I don't think that's relevant. So I think it's making us point the finger at someone way too early.
Okay.
Because I think it wants Nagito, but I don't think he's the killer.
You're the only one! The one who wasn't there. It's you, right, Nagito?
That's right. Nagito wasn't there. It was just me,
Oh, I
Gundam,
forgot
and
about
Fuyuhiko.
that.
No, I remembered this, but I'm like, why is he pointing? One, why is he pointing the finger at himself? And two, I still
You
think
didn't come out, even though the alarm was going off like crazy.
because he was in one of the better
You
rooms. I
weren't
think.
in your room, were you?
If that's the case, where were you?
Please, say something.
If you don't hurry up and answer, I'm gonna suicide dive you!
Oh,
If I
jeez.
may be frank, even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
You couldn't? What do you mean?
It's merely the foolish talk of the weak.
Not only did I not hear the alarm, I never even heard that rumbling sound.
He couldn't.
You're definitely fucking lying.
No.
No.
However, that is also true for me.
I'm waiting to find out. Chiaki might be the tiebreaker
It
here.
is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House. But I did not hear the rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else heard it.
Because Chiaki was the other one who had like the nice room. There we go.
honest, it's not just them. The same goes for me too.
Yep, it has to do with the rooms.
Yeah,
I
huh?
was in a pretty deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it. But it wasn't that. I probably couldn't hear it at all.
Couldn't hear it? What does that mean?
Yeah, because I think wasn't it Nagito and Makumaru that had the nice rooms?
You still don't know. Think about what the three of us who didn't hear a sound have in common, and I'm sure you'll figure it out.
The only people who didn't hear the rumbling noises were Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki. The secret is what these three have in common. Could this also be the secret that points to the killer? I don't know that this necessarily...
It's...
God, I have no idea what this is supposed to be.
I'm guessing D is a word.
Nope. D. Nope.
What is it supposed to be?
Oh, shoot, what happened?
Oh, because they're hitting.
We already tried R, right? Oh, deluxe room.
Oh,
deluxe
that's
rooms.
right. I was trying to remember what the word was that they called it.
We don't have much. We don't have a lot of wiggle room.
Oh, oh. Got it. Okay. All right. I think the problem is we play these over so many weeks, and we only do them like 1 day a week. So
Yeah, I kind of forgot what it was
Ooh,
called.
what's that? Yeah. Here's your... Watch up there.
Oops.
There's your E. Okay. We get an R.
No.
Can we get a no?
No. I mean, if I can... Yeah, that seems risky.
Yes! Yes!
Got it.
Yes!
I got it!
Got it!
I got it! I just couldn't remember what... I knew the last word was rooms. I just couldn't
Nagito,
remember what
Sony,
they
and
called it.
Chiaki. The three of you were staying in deluxe rooms, right? If I recall, the deluxe rooms are...
Yeah, they're the most soundproof. The normal have, like, light soundproof.
Mm-hmm. I remember you saying this is all going to be important later. Do you remember that?
Yeah, huh?
The reason we could not hear the rumbling noise...
That's right. It was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation. You actually noticed that. Nice catch, Hajime. Are you using your ultimate reserve corps student talent?
He's an ass.
Now, you guys must understand by now, right? The true identity of Nekomaru's killer.
I feel like we've gotten zero information since...
Hold on a sec. Why does that lead to who the killer is?
Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue, and a decisive factor in identifying the killer.
No! Nekomaru wasn't the other one. It was Gundam. I think Gundam had the other one.
Decisive factor?
See, that's the problem with playing so far. I'm trying to remember who had it. Somehow I feel like I understand what Nagito means. The killer among us. The killer who murdered Nekomaru. Now it's Gundam. Because he shouldn't have been able to hear it.
You're the only one!
Gundam, there's something I want to ask you. When the alarm rang at the Strawberry House Lounge, you rushed over there too, right?
What's wrong with that? If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it.
Why were you able to hear it?
Hear what?
I mean, you were also staying in a deluxe room, right? Nagito was staying in a deluxe room in the same house on the same floor, and he couldn't even hear it. So why were you able to hear that alarm?
Now that you mention it...
Gundam?
There is only one possibility. You weren't in your room at the time. That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
I really did think that was going to be the clue that kind of gave him up.
your clue was
I think the alarm. I'm waiting to find out that has nothing. That the sleep button has nothing to do with it.
Gundam, you have some sort of explanation, right?
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko. Me?
Because he was already in the lounge.
After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a while. Am I correct? Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right? If you were in the lounge for that long, the killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
Even though Mekamaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
Like putting Nekomaru in sleep mode and tying him up with the wire.
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower. Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the tower.
And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off. And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in the room, just like us.
The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all, if they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi. Unfortunately, they failed to secure that alibi.
Because I was in the lounge.
So the killer couldn't go back to their room, and ended up hearing the lounge's alarm.
Yeah, see, I don't know if I buy this as an explanation because once Fuyuhiko and Kazuichi were dealing with the alarm, Gundam probably could have slipped through without being seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, backs turned.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died down.
If Gundam tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out. That would have been the worst possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned, that would have been ideal, but how ironic. The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your plan was doomed.
Gundam? Please, can you at least say something?
Answer me this, including myself in my 4 dark devas of destruction. How many ears do we possess?
Huh?
The answer is 10. That's right, I possess 10 ears. That means I have 5 times the hearing of a normal human. The soundproof system here may as well not exist.
Is that your argument?
I mean, honestly, the fact that he has animals with him is not a bad argument.
Do you understand the situation you're in right now?
Do not panic. The truth shall now commence. At the time, I left my room to go to the bathroom. By coincidence, I heard the alarm. That's right. That's all it was. The world is always so simple.
Are you saying it was just a coincidence? Isn't that timing a little too perfect?
And yet, I'm being suspected by all of you. It seems it was actually horrible timing on my part.
I see. You're still holding out. Well, you don't have to admit it. We're going to decide who the killer is with the majority vote anyway. So, why don't we just go ahead and start voting? It's obvious that Gundam is the killer.
Hold on a sec.
You know, Hajime, this class trial, this killing, it's merely the opening act, you know.
Hey! What do you mean the class trial is just the opening act?
Perhaps I should
Nagito reading
say
this?
it's just a farce. Just a boring farce. So boring, so stressful. I'm so painfully bored that I might develop stomach ulcers. Seriously. Let's just hurry up and finish this before I collapse from poor health.
What?
What is this
Nagito.
deal?
Yeah.
Something definitely happened to you. At some point during the investigation, your behavior became even weirder. What actually happened? Did you discover something?
He discovered a lot.
Well, let's just leave that fun for later. And finish this opening act already.
You said opening act again!
Please hold on! We have yet to hear Gundam's rebuttal!
We did hear Gundam's rebuttal.
But he's completely shut up. Perhaps he can't argue anymore.
I mean, we didn't really. He offered a rebuttal. We haven't really thrown any more evidence against him.
Gundam!
I was simply at a loss for words after being dumbfounded by your pathetic assumption. In fact, I shall deny the very basis. Your assumption has been wrong since the beginning.
Since the beginning?
Based on your assumption, I hung Nekomaru from the 4th floor of the tower and made the floor descend to the 1st floor. From there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm at the lounge went off, correct? Although going to and fro is busy enough as it is, how would I be able to travel between both houses anyway?
That's true. Door.
The contact elevator was broken.
As I recall, the killer tampered with the Grape House control panel, which shut down the elevator. Plus, the stopped elevator should have been facing the Grape House side. If so, the human who used the elevator would have left it at Grape House. For these reasons, it's an indisputable fact that the killer destroyed the elevator at Grape House.
And what's wrong with that?
If the elevator was broken at Grape House, he wouldn't be able to return to Strawberry House.
However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing, which means your assumption is clearly wrong.
Are you serious? And here I thought it's already been decided.
Have you learned your lesson, pitiful humans? You cannot overcome this contradiction.
Well, so here's my thing. To know that the trap door between houses, you would have had to have finished the final dead room, which I didn't think anyone did.
It didn't sound like it. That's wrong. When something is obviously wrong, that's when a contradiction is born. There's no such thing as a contradiction that can't be overcome. What are we doing? Make your argument. Alright. Geez, that's a lot of stuff.
Wall clock, broken doorknob, radio clock.
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses.
No, that's wrong.
As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House...
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
You need that
How much
sentence.
longer do you plan to lecture me?
That's what
Why
it
don't
is.
we
We need
stop
that
this
secret
already?
passageway.
Yep.
I hate grabbing things in this game.
Well, it's just not intuitive.
Well, it's, I mean, it
The
just
only means of
doesn't
travel.
seem
As
to
long as
actually
that
grab
your
it.
assumption
Plus, the elevator broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return...
Remember,
Since
it's
I
gonna be
was
on
at
its
Strawberry,
side,
there's
too.
no question that the following crime.
It would have been different if they had...
Here it
There
is.
was a secret passageway.
There we go.
How much longer? Why don't we stop this already?
There's no contradiction I can't shoot through.
I'll shoot through your
That
contradiction,
elevator
man.
was the only means of travel between the...
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
No, there should have been another way to move between the two houses without the elevator.
Such a method does not exist.
Then why don't we ask the person who actually used that method?
We're back to... Alright. No, I took the long way around.
It's okay. Let's go take a look at everyone. How's everyone doing today?
How are we doing, dead people?
You're the only one! Nagito, you should know. What are you talking about? Don't play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right?
I'm surprised that we didn't just use Nagito's sudden appearance for that.
I know. Because I showed
There's
up.
a secret passage connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the third floor of Grape House. Isn't that right?
Jeez. Once again, I let the reserve course show up. But you're right.
I'm gonna kick his ass.
There's a
after
door on
this.
the floor of the Octagon, which is on the first floor of Strawberry House. After I opened the door and went down, surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma Archive, which is on the third floor of Grape House.
Meaning, the third floor and the fourth floor are actually connected.
Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through it as many times as you want.
If they use that secret passage, They could have gone between the two houses as much as they wanted.
True.
But I thought
We have to prove that he went through the final dead room.
Yeah.
Infinity Unlimited Flame!
I actually kind of don't blame him for arguing on this one. Like,
However,
I
what if the
think he
killer
did,
was
but-
unaware of the existence of the final dead room?
There's no way they didn't know.
That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion. If you value your life, you should stop with your scrutiny.
There's no way I can stop.
What did you say? Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
wait, which are we doing? Oh, we're doing the swords?
No, yep. Rebuttal showdown. Wire, goodnight button, tripped over pillar, alarm clock. Whoa, I don't know which one we're
None of those make sense.
Even if the turbine box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say. Your decaying illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Can we?
I don't have it. Oh, I don't have any more
Can't back
cuts.
down!
Alright.
I already proved a secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon. Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light!
He probably means try providing evidence that the killer went to the Octagon, right? If that's the case, I should have it too. Is it the hammer?
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon. Don't bark, you cur!
Clock's
You don't want to at least pray to the key which dwells in the light.
I actually don't understand this one.
Evidence.
Can I actually like look at what it's forcing me to work with? No. Alright, wired. Alright. Tip. Alright, that doesn't help. Good night button. When this is okay. That no. Tipped over pillar. I don't think that has anything to do with proving that the dead room exists. Wall clock. Fuyuhiko was at the lounge by coincidence and managed to stop the alarm, but Kazuichi and Gundam rushed to the lounge. However, Nagito.
Okay, I don't think that's it either.
The only reason I would think that that's the one. Radio clock.
No.
I don't think that's
So
it.
could the wire have come from the final dead room? Because there wasn't anywhere else in that building to have had wire.
The key which dwells in the light that will break
Know
through
the
the
limits
darkness.
of your
That
own
doesn't
reasoning.
help.
You say the killer
yeah, no,
went
I don't
to
see.
the Octagon.
I don't see
Keep
that.
going up.
Don't
Wire.
bark, you cur!
Oh,
That's the only thing I can
You
think
don't
of.
want to drown in the maelstrom of...
Allow me to cut through
Really?
those words.
all right.
The wire used to string up Nekomaru's body, the hammer that looked like the weapon, and the chain on the door in the tower.
I would have gone with the hammer for
I
this
know.
clue, but
I
Those
agree.
are all the items that weren't in Funhouse. Where did the killer obtain them?
The only place I can think of is the Octagon.
right, that doesn't prove that Gundam went there though. Like,
There were various weapons and tools there. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like wires, hammers, and chains too.
okay, how do we
Since
prove
those
that
items
Gundam
were
went
used
there
in the
though?
crime, there's no doubt that the killer went to the Octagon.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
If that's the case, they obviously know about the secret passage too, right?
Yes, but
It seems this is the end.
how?
Normally we'd end up listening to Hajime lecture us with a very long summary of the case. But there's no reason to waste any more time on this opening act. So I'm going to end this right now.
Hey, what are you...
First of all, by messing with all the clocks in the building, Gundam tried to lure only Nekomaru. The
Okay.
elevator was probably broken by that point.
All fair.
Thanks to that, Nekomaru wasn't able to go to Grape Tower, which was supposed to be the meetup point. So he tried going over to Strawberry Tower.
Are they, like,
just
trying to
we
make
did
us
when
not
we
suspect
found out
Gundam?
the elevator was broken. Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that. At that time, We didn't know the two towers were the exact same place. Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken, so he was easily able to enter Strawberry Tower. But surprise! Gundam was waiting for Nekomaru's arrival.
Hold on. If Nekomaru didn't go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer have done then?
Their plan was a balancing act of uncertainties. But even if they failed, they probably wouldn't have minded.
Well, no one would have noticed, likely.
They can just greet everyone the next morning as if nothing happened, and come up with a different plan.
And, without such a risky plan, they wouldn't have been able to lure him at all.
I'm going to continue summarizing the case.
Wow! Jeez. Like, he's being a freaking dick.
Through this, Gundam successfully lured Nekomaru to Strawberry Tower.
Can I just
There's no way he could
now?
fight head-on with the robotic Nekomaru. So by pressing the goodnight button, he rendered Nekomaru
I think this is
powerless
what we're going to be
without
focusing
fighting.
on next. So this is the part where I think it's getting interesting.
Hold on! You, what did you just say? That I didn't battle?
Ah, there we go. That's what he was going for.
What's wrong with that?
Don't mess with me! Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore those words!
There we go. That's okay. That makes more sense now. Now I know what they were going for.
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
You fools do not understand! You don't understand at all! Ha! You make me laugh! After all this time, you still don't understand anything at all!
Nope. All right, we'll see what's going on in the next episode.
This is a fun house, all right.
Yeah.
And Nagito, you know, we've had our share of Nagito through this whole series. He's crazy.
Oh yeah. I'm waiting. I want to find out what his deal is. I want to know what he found out in that file.
I do too.
Clearly it's something pretty big.
I agree.
So we'll just have to find out later. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time.